Hi, poetry lovers. This is Bella Cohen. Thank you so much for visiting my YouTube channel, Bella Poetry Presents. Today we'll discuss another poet, and it will be our third segment in the series Poetry at Random. If you remember, last time we talked about a Polish poet, Wisława Szymborska, and the segment after that, we discuss the beautiful poetry of Carol Ann Duffy, a Scottish poet and playwright. And today we will talk about another female poet whose name is Eva Aisling Boland. Eva Aisling Boland. And again, this is her photograph. Eva Aisling Boland was born on September 24th, 1944. She was the Irish poet and author. She was also a professor at Stanford University, where she taught from 1996. Her father was a diplomat and her mother was an expressionist painter. At the age of 6, Boland moved with her family to London, where she first encountered anti-Irish sentiment. She later returned to Dublin for school, and she received her BA from Trinity College in 1966. She was also educated in London and in New York. Her work deals with Irish national identity and the role of women in Irish history. She was a recipient of the Lannan Literary Award in Poetry. In 1969, Boland married the novelist Kevin Casey. They had 2 daughters together. Her experience as a wife and mother influenced her to write about the centrality of the ordinary, as well as providing a theme for more political and historical themes. According to her friend Gabrielle Calvacoresi, she loved gossip like fish in loves water. Boland held numerous teaching positions and published poetry, prose, criticism, and essays. Boland died in Dublin on April 27, 2020, at the age of 75. Her poems oppose violence in all its guises and speak out for the weak and marginalized. While much of her work addresses matters of public concern, she has also written deeply personal and honest poems that reveal intimate details about her daily life and relationships. She wrote, "I wanted to put the life I lived into the poem I wrote, and the life I lived was a woman's life, and I couldn't accept the possibility that the life of the women would not or could not be named in the poetry of my own nation." So she was highly intelligent and principled woman. And we will read some of her poems. One of her very famous poems is called Anorexic by Eva Boland. "Flesh is heretic. My body is a witch. I am burning it. Yes, I'm torching her curves and paps and wiles. They scorch in my self-denials. How she meshed my head in the half-truths of her fevers, till I renounced milk and honey and the taste of lunch. I vomited her hungers. Now the bitch is burning. I am starved and curveless. I am skin and bone. She has learned her lesson." It's anorexic talking to her body. And the next one is called Quarantine. "In the worst hour of the worst season, of the worst year of a whole people, a man set out from the workhouse with his wife. They were both walking north. She was sick with famine fever and could not keep up. He lifted her and put her on his back. He walked like the west and north until the nightfall under freezing stars they arrived. In the morning they were both found dead, of cold, of hunger, of the toxins of a whole history. But her feet were held against his breastbone. The last heat of his flesh was his last gift for her. Yet no love poem ever come to this threshold. There is no place here for the inexact praise of the easy graces and sensuality of the body. There is only time for his merciless inventory. Their death together in the winter of 1847. Also, what they suffered, how they lived. I like this poetry, and I hope you did too. Next week, we will discuss the poetry of another poet. A lot of them are not famous. A lot of people don't know these poets, but I actually investigated the poetry of many different poets, and I chose this particular poets because I thought their poetry is important. And next week we will talk about another poet whose name is Louise Glick. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel because you will be introduced to the poetry of many wonderful poets from other countries, from around the world. The channel offers 30 segments about poetry of Victorian female poets. They have it's an amazing collection, and the stories, the segments tell about the fascinating lives of female poets of the Victorian age. And then I'm introducing my listeners also to the poetry of Silver Age poets from Russia. Their poetry is also very powerful, and their stories are extremely interesting. And lastly, the poetry, the series that is called the Best Love Poems and the Poets that Penned It. And I think you would really enjoy this series as well. And now I'm introducing you, as I said before, to poetry at random, just different poets that I come across and whose stories I would like to tell you and whose poetry I would like you to listen to. Please don't forget to leave your comments. I would love to hear what you think about the poetry of the poets that I am introducing you to. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.